The film is based on the true story of the robbery of Air France and Lufthansa. Although the mafia is the subject matter, the main characters are semi-members, not former members. The protagonist is Henry, whose father is of Irish descent, and Jimmy, Robert De Niro, who is of full Irish descent, cannot join the mafia, which only accepts people of pure Italian blood. However, Tommy, Joe Pesci, who committed crimes with them as their best friend, officially joins the mafia in the latter half of the movie. The movie is about robbers who did well for a long time, committing murder to cover up the incident, and then betraying and killing each other as they reach the worst point, and fall into serious crimes such as selling drugs to make a living. Jimmy is born in 1926, is a gangster who dominates an era, having been in and out of prison several times since he was 11 years old. He does everything the organization tells him to do, but what he particularly enjoys is robbery. In particular, Jimmy's main job was to rob cargo trucks and sell cigarettes and whiskey. Jimmy first appears in the movie at the age of 28, and Henry, who is accidentally caught by the police while selling cigarettes in front of a factory, sees Henry's resolve not to mention anything about the organization, so he takes him under his wing and works with him. As a veteran criminal who has been stealing for a long time, he has excellent organization management skills and the ability to manipulate people. Jimmy is a ruthless boss who is warm toward Henry and Tommy, but ruthlessly eliminates any subordinates who make mistakes or become a nuisance.
In the middle and latter half of the movie, after the Lufthansa heist has been carried out and all members of the organization except Henry and Tommy have been purged, he gradually begins to feel nervous and anxious.
When Tommy is killed over the case of Billy Bats, whom they killed in the past, he shows himself to be unable to overcome his helplessness.
At the end of the film, Jimmy is concerned that Henry, who has been arrested by the police, will not tell the police about himself.
So he shows lasting insanity, trying to harm Karen or kill Henry as an informer under that pretext.
In the end, due to Henry's accusations since he enrolled in the witness protection program, Jimmy is arrested and sentenced to 20 years in prison. He died of cancer in prison in 1996. Henry was born in 1943 and is of half Italian ancestry with a Sicilian mother and an Irish father. He was a boy who looked up to gangsters since childhood, thinking that being a gangster would be better than being the President of the United States. In his teens, he joined the police gang across the street from his house and performed various chores such as running errands. Henry accidentally meets Jimmy Conway while running errands at a private gambling house and becomes involved in crime in earnest. Coincidentally, while selling cigarettes in front of a factory, he is caught by an undercover FBI investigator and is put on trial, but he does not open his mouth about the organization. Paulie and the organization had already bought a judge and gotten a lawyer, so Henry was released without much trouble. Because of this, he gains the trust of Paulie and Jimmy and becomes like a family. While working with Jimmy, he kills Billy Bass, who had a bad relationship with Tommy in the past, and goes to jail to deal with the aftermath and visits Tampa Bay to collect the money he did not receive. There were several incidents, but he is a person who shows loyalty by not recklessly bringing up stories about the organization under any circumstances.
However, after quarreling with his wife Karen over a secret mistress issue, and after being released, he can't overcome his greed for money and boredom with an ordinary life, and eventually gets involved in drug dealing.
Although he is not arrested for the Lufthansa case, the circumstances of the drug deal eventually become public, and he is brought under investigation.
Karen later posts bail and Henry is released, but inwardly he senses that Jimmy is suspicious of him. Before taking on the last job Jimmy gives him, he enrolls in the witness protection program and files charges against Jimmy and Paulie.
Henry was off drugs since 1987 and lived a quiet life, divorcing Karen in 1989. He passed away in 2012 of a heart attack. Tommy is Italian-American and works for Jimmy since about the same age as Henry.
Unlike Jimmy and Henry, he is of pure Italian descent and has the potential to become a former member of the mafia. He is a gag character who consistently jokes pleasantly and pours out insults with a heavy Italian accent. However, as a unique hot-tempered character in the movie, once he flips out, his fists come out first, and when he's unsatisfied, he even fires a gun, showing a bloody mind. Tommy's hot-temperedness is such that even both Jimmy and old friend Henry can't stop it. He has such a strong ego that he can't get past someone laughing at him or slandering him, even when joking, and because of this, other gang members are wary of him. He lives with his single mother and is a devoted son to his mother. In 1979, following the success of the Lufthansa heist, unnecessary members of the gang were eliminated at Jimmy's direction. Afterwards, at Paulie's words that he would be let in as a member of the family's organization. He dresses in a suit and goes to the family's hideout, but is killed because of the murder of Billy Bass in the past. Karen has her first meeting with Henry on a double date arranged by Tommy. However, Henry stands her up and she is so mad at Henry that she rushes at him, and the two of them go on a date again and fall deeply in love. Later, when Henry visits the man living across the street who was harassing her, and then gives her a handgun with blood on it, she falls in love with Henry's wild nature and ends up marrying him in great haste. However, as Henry and his friends' criminal behavior becomes more and more serious, and her spending increases, she needs more and more money. After Henry is released from prison, she follows her husband into the drug trade and becomes addicted to drugs too. Karen changes from her innocent and strong-willed nature at the beginning of her marriage to a threatening demeanor by taking the children to her husband's secret mistress's house. It is pitiful to see Karen in the latter half of the film, when she becomes addicted to drugs and breaks into a cold sweat with her husband and has a temper. She and Henry divorced in 1989 after enrolling together in a witness protection program. Paul Savino, born in 1915, is the couple regime of the Lucchese family. He is a superior who looks after the main characters, Jimmy, Henry, and Tommy. Although he ostensibly runs a diner, he is a powerful underworld tycoon that even the notorious gangster Jimmy Conway has to bow down to.
He seems like a sensible man in the movie, and is the person who notices Henry's talent and saw him grow up by running various errands since he was young.
He is a person with humanity in many ways, such as advising Henry to stop taking drugs after he is released from prison, or comforting Henry and Karen after seeing that their relationship is not smooth.
In 1980, Paulie gives Henry, who could not get off drugs, a mere $3,200, saying it was his last, and coldly kicks him out. Henry can't accept that reality and makes the accusation against Paulie along with Jimmy. Paulie was subsequently imprisoned and died of respiratory disease in 1988.
Thank you for watching the video, Goodfellas movie commentary, provided by History and Current Events. I'm Rebecca, Mia, Katie, Leah, and Tony have contributed so far as narrators. Thank you.